Alright, welcome back to our next video on shop safety, and today what we're going to be working with will be power tools and portable power tools at that. Really what I want to target is just some very basic things to look for safety wise, and when it comes to the shop, ours in particular, what we deal with mostly when it comes to any kind of power tools are going to be tools that are going to be powered by electricity or pneumatic. Pneumatic meaning that these are tools that are going to be operable off of our air compressor. And the reason I point that out is exactly going to be the points that we'll be discussing in this video, and that would be either power supply or a few types of hazards to look out for if it's going to be a danger to you, or just simply a defective tool that can be properly fixed or replaced. If we're going to be dealing with any kind of electrical power tool, right here I have a couple of power drills that are that have cords attached, and a couple of these two drills that I got to point out. You're either going to hear about 2-prong or 3-prong. If we're going to be dealing with 2 prongs, it's pretty, pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. It's a cord, a plug that has 2 prongs. If I'm going to be dealing with a 3-prong plug, I have 3 different prongs, 1 prong being a ground. And reason that's important, and I mentioned it when it comes to the safety video, is that if it's a 3-prong plug, it's got to have all 3 prongs. If we do happen to come across any kind of 3-prong plug that's missing a prong, or even a 2-prong plug that's broken, it can easily be fixed, and an easy replacement on the plug. Please report to an instructor if ever you come across any kind of broken plug. And also, in addition to that, any kind of broken wires. If you happen to come across a cable that's split and is exposing wires, that's an electrical hazard. Please report any kind of broken wires, exposed wires when it comes to the cords for any power tool that you're going to be plugging in. So any kind of broken prongs or broken wire, report to the instructor. When it comes to any kind of power tools, make sure that before ever flipping the on switch, before ever plugging in any of the power tools, make sure that the switch is off. You never want to happen to get that little surprise of plugging in a sander and all of a sudden that sander just scoot across the table and fall off. Check to make sure that the switch is off before you ever plug in. Also, more importantly, make sure that your power supply is completely off, not only the off switch, but also unplugged if ever you're making any kind of adjustments. Maybe you're replacing sandpaper, maybe you're replacing a drill bit. Either the case, if you're making any kind of adjustments, make sure the power is completely off. There's no risk of any kind of machine turning on if ever you're making any kind of simple adjustment like that. Make sure that guards are in place, and more importantly, safety glasses are on. In any case that you're going to be working in a shop, safety glasses are on. And also, when it comes to any of these power tools, like an angle grinder for instance, guards are in place. Your work is secure. You're not just going to be holding it by hand. And I don't care how strong you are, I don't care how many push-ups you did that morning, but when you hold down that material, if you're going to be drilling it, you're not going to beat that drill. Okay, 10 times out of 10, that drill is going to win. So secure it by a clamp. Secure by clamp or vise if you're going to be doing any kind of work on a project, that's any kind of small project. If you're going to be drilling any kind of material, back it up with a piece of wood. Not only is it a good signal that you've gone all the way through your material, but also you're not going to be drilling through into any kind of work table. Back up with a piece of wood. And of course, all more importantly, clamp it, make sure that that work is secure. make sure that you're using the right power capacity. A 110 is going to be meant for a 110. A 110 is going to be meant for a 110 plug, and your 220 is going to be meant for a 220, to be very clear. And the same thing goes for any kind of pneumatic tools when it comes to our shop. If the pneumatic tool requires a 60 psi pressure, we're going to make sure that we don't go above that 60 psi pressure. It's like having to go above your max. If your max on bench press is 200 pounds, you're obviously not going to be stretching for a 250. You're not going to be able to lift up that amount of weight. Okay? Don't go above your max. Don't go above the max of that pneumatic drill. If it requires 60 psi, we obviously don't want to be jumping over that max and do damage and break apart that pneumatic tool, whether it be die grinder or any kind of pneumatic, any other pneumatic tool. We're not going to go above that required psi. And that can, and all in all, in summary, if you come across any kind of power tool that's broken, needs an adjustment, if you need help, if you're not 100% confident in the use of that tool, whether it can possibly be broken or any question involved, get an instructor involved. So ask questions, and if it's broken, report it so that way it can be fixed immediately. Thank you.